I've always liked Galaxy Notes, so when Samsung reached out to me asking if I can work on a video with them detailing my journey with the Note so far, I was happy to do it. Now, before we start, here are a few questions. What's the only Galaxy Note to face a drop in resolution? What's the only Galaxy Note without a microSD card slot? Did you know the app pair feature from the Note 8 was already on a Note many years back? If yes, which one? Well, if you're a Note fan and you want to take a walk down memory lane with me on my experience with the Note so far, well, you're in the right place, and in the course of this video, I will also answer those questions and provide you with a lot more fun facts. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech. Card to give away, link in description. While you're down there, hit that bell icon to make sure you get notified every time a new video goes live here on C4eTech. Let's now get started. So back in 2011, most brands were going with slimmer and tinier phones. Me on the other hand, I wanted a large screen display. There were two options at the 5+ inch mark, which back then was huge. One of them was the Samsung Galaxy Note. The other, well, any guesses? Let me know in the comments below. Here's a clue. It was a phone from a brand known more for their laptops. Anyway, the last minute, I decided to pick the Samsung Galaxy Note. The stylus kind of fascinated me. Turns out it was something I'd end up loving. The Galaxy Note was different. It was a big phone in a small phone world. It started the trend of brands launching phones with big screens. Just think about it. The word Note today is synonymous with large screen displays. A lot of brands have Notes and they don't have digitizers, they don't have S Pens or anything. They just call their large screen devices the Notes, and Samsung kind of started that, right? It's synonymous with Samsung's branding. Now, fun fact, though it doesn't still work, I still do have this one with me, for the memories and all that. Anyway, moving on. The next year we had the Note 2. It was a refinement, the display size grew, but the aspect ratio changed from 16:10 to 16:9. Fun fact again, this was the only Note to get a resolution cut. Don't get me wrong, it was still a best-in-class display. The loss of about 80 pixels was due to the change in aspect ratio, but it's still a fact that not a lot of people remember. Now, the Note 2 brought a lot of new S Pen features, including the hover functions called Air View. It was really innovative for the time. Then we got the Note 3. Now, this remains one of my favorite Notes. The Note 3 had an even larger display at 5.7 inches and for the first time a full HD panel. The Note 3 also happens to be the only Note to get a lower priced, lower powered option in the form of the Note 3 Neo, and I really expected that phone to suck, but it actually surprised me. Unlike the Mini, Samsung had done a good job with the Neo. Now back to the Note 3. It wasn't just about the display, it brought with it air commands, and again, fun fact time. Remember during the Note 8 launch how Samsung mentioned app pair? Have two apps set up so that they can launch at once. If you love that feature, no, Samsung had it all this time on the Note 3, like way back. Anyway, we then move on to 2014. This was a year where Samsung was taking flack for the plastic build of the S5. So in came the Note 4 with a metal frame, and it happened to be the first Note with a Quad HD display and also the last Note to have a replaceable battery. I kind of do have mixed feelings about this one. It ran on the older TouchWiz, which was getting bloated. It did have the Snapdragon 805, which was a very good underrated chip, and it did bring with it some features like Smart Select and Image Clip, which would go on to become staples of the Note line. I just wish Samsung had updated this one to the newer version of TouchWiz. Sadly, that never happened. By the way, it's also worth noting that with the Note 4 came the Note Edge. Love the curved display Samsung puts on their phones. Well, this is the one that started it all. At that time, it just blew people's minds. The concept was cool, with Samsung again showing innovation. With the Note 5 though, it was time for a drastic change. With the S6, Samsung had bowed to pressure and come up with glass backs. And again, another fact, maybe fun. The Note 5 is the only Galaxy Note to not sport a microSD card slot. It was also the first Note to sport a built-in battery, and it was also the first time the battery capacity actually went down. That said, the Note 5 was a drastic departure from what we've been seeing with the Note series. It was such a polished and well-rounded device that even though initially I was quite annoyed to see the drop in battery capacity and lack of micro SD. But this was a gorgeous Note. It was too good of a phone for me to stay mad at. It finally brought a good fingerprint scanner to the Note lineup. The new user interface known as Grace UX back then, it would go on to become Samsung Experience. It was such a huge improvement. The Note 5, despite my initial reservations, remains one of my favorite Notes of all time. I kind of see it as two different segments of Notes, the ones with replaceable batteries and all that. Until in that, my favorite would probably be the Note 3. But then after the entire design language changed and we moved to glass and all that, the Note 5 holds a special place in my heart. Anyway, moving on, next came the Note 7. Samsung skipped 6 and a series of battery issues, some cruel coincidences meant the 7 had to be skipped too. It brought back micro SD, which is great, made sure the S Pen couldn't be popped in the wrong way. It introduced the iris scanner. Now Samsung did bring it back to a few markets as the Note FE, and barring the battery issue, it was a stellar phone. So it was a shame, in my honest opinion, that the majority never got to experience it. And then we come to the Note 8, the first Note with the infinity display. The display size itself went up for the first time since the Galaxy Note 3, and it was a huge bump up to 6.3 inches. But given the nature of the infinity display and very slim bezels, the screen to body ratio was super high, the phone didn't feel very bulky. The Note 8 also brought with it a dual camera setup to the Note line for the first time, and it had OIS on the secondary camera, another first on the Android side of things. Now if you noticed throughout this video, I've not really spoken about performance or camera on the phones because over the last 7 years, Samsung has consistently brought the best chip along with the best optics possible to the Note lineup. In fact, I'd say it's a little better than even the S lineup because the Note launches 6 months after the S, and that gives Samsung enough time to fine-tune some ideas introduced with the S series. This was all very evident on the Note 8. The reason why it felt a little jaded is because with the Note 8, we had a huge sense of deja vu since most of what Samsung offered with it was already on the Galaxy S8 Plus. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what Samsung has planned for the Note 9. Is it gonna be just a bigger S9 Plus with a few perks, or is Samsung gonna wow us again? Well, we need to wait a few days to find out, but we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, that's been my experience with the Note lineup so far. How's yours been? Have you used the Note in the past? Are you looking to buy one in the future? A Galaxy Note, that is. And what are your expectations from the Galaxy Note 9? Let me know all about that in the comments below. So I guess that's it for this video. Thank you for taking this trip down memory lane with me. It's now time I bid you adieu. If you liked the video and want to see more of this kind of content on C4E Tech, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon. So thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.